I had a first sergeant once tell me, "Don't be lost in the sauce like a meatball," and so that has stayed with me. I was a junior enlisted member, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, right? But in life, especially as a veteran, um, there's probably periods of your life. Not all veterans, but a lot of them have a phase of reintegration or a stage, and that stage could be, years, months, or whatever. It just depends on the person. And really, I think it goes into the equation or into the mix is how long somebody has been in. And here I am making it sound like like you were in prison or something, institutionalized, but not in a confinement prison type environment. And so, if you're that veteran that has felt like out of place, just kind of really don't know how to fit in certain things, or I would say don't know, but kind of doesn't feel right. Hey, you're not alone. That the good thing is you're not alone, and that many veterans, countless veterans, have done that, or is doing that, or are doing that right now. And one thing is that sometimes we don't have out here in the civilian world is how to regain structure and purpose. And um, if you're new to the show, which a lot of you do because it's a brand new show. So my name is Israel. I'm a Marine Corps and U.S. Army veteran. All in all, did 25 years, a lot of enlisted time, a little bit of officer time at the tail end. I have I have that perspective of two being in two branches, being enlisted in two branches, and then my career culminating on the Army side as an officer, right? But at any rate, so here we are. Right? If this resonates with you, feel free to chime in, ask questions, or leave a comment or whatever, or for other show ideas. But so the very first thing when you get out is really recognize the loss. The loss is, which I've mentioned in the other show. If you haven't watched them, there's only two episodes, so it'd be quick to catch up. Is that loss that, hey, there is no accountability formation in the morning, or at least Monday through Friday, right? Like there is no your first line supervisor telling you, hey, tomorrow you're going to be in, PT uniform at the parade field or soccer field, 06, or whatever. There's nobody really telling you on this side of life with that much detail. In this uniform, blah 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 blah. Most cases, right? With that with that new gained freedom as a civilian, um, at times it's so ambiguous that you kind of don't know how to navigate that, and so um, you got to recognize that there is no team oriented mission, right? It's just most likely you, the veteran, doing a job, right? Whether you're in a restaurant, an electrician, uh, a government employee, or wherever you're at. So recognizing that the loss is real, and that uh, ensuring that or acknowledging that it is no longer a part. I mean, it is a part of your story, not your story, the entire story. And a lot of that is through identity, right? You identify as a sergeant, as a private, as a captain, as a major, whatever, general, and and it is no longer the case. Now you're retired, and thank you for your service, right? And that's it. Is a part of your life. So, and what truly is almost or figuring out or re-identifying what that identity is, you as a person. Um, Two, build daily structure through routine. Influence what you can. So personally, what I do is for a while there, I took like 5 or 6 days off um, after I retired, and it wasn't a very long time. Um, However, I just want to get back into the routine. And one of the things I just maintained, I remember somebody telling me before I retired, was just make sure you keep moving, exercising. Muscles atrophy, your brain atrophies if you don't constantly do some type of activity. And building that daily structure. If you are very, um, if you like to stay active, or if you're like bump it, man, I did my 4 years. People had to tell me people told me every day what to do, um, and I'm not having it. I'm waking up when I wake up. I'm doing what I do. Okay, that's fine too. However, if you're missing that structure in your life, you can take little baby steps, um, doing the or setting up a daily routine for yourself. One of those is sleep schedule. Are you a gamer? No, man. Like me, I used to play video games back when I was younger. Street Fighter. Hoyuken. You know what I'm talking about. But not anymore. So I don't stay up late at night, man. By 9:30 p.m., 21:30 for you military-minded folks. I like to be asleep because I do wake up at 4:04 again, um, and I have that routine already. I wake up at 4. I do a devotional. I walk my dogs, walk/jog with my dogs. Uh, personal hygiene, and then I'm out the door at 5:30 and headed to work. So and that's what keeps me sane, is just knowing that I do keep that schedule. And one of those you can do at bedtime, and your body should tell you when you're tired. I mean, if you're not getting enough sleep, dude, and I get it, man. Like, if you're a young dad, or a young mom, and you got kids and you got work or you got schoolwork, yeah, I understand, right? I've been there. All my kids are grown, so I'm out of practice, but I do remember those days, how tough they were. So I understand. I understand. There it is. PT exercise. I'm not going to beat that one down. However, it is important for you just to at least get some type of exercise. You lose flexibility. If you're over 35, you're a male, you start losing muscle mass. So all those things, they matter in terms of your health, and how long you're going to stay around this earth, right? I mean, if you don't care, um, all right, man. But I would definitely, that has personally helped me. I've stayed active. I would like to think I stay active. 6 days a week, I do something. Goal setting. So, and we're going to get into a little bit of goal setting. However, that's part of, if you want to do a 5-year plan, I know that's big on the officer side. What's your 5-plan year look like? And it's a really bird's eye view of what you want to do the next 5 years. So, goal setting. Rediscover purpose via interest and goals. So, and I did talk about identity already, and we lose part of the identity. It becomes we, us, a team, and versus the enemy, whatever that enemy is, right? We just train to win wars, fight them and win them, be resilient. All those things that make the U.S. military freaking awesome. But then you're no longer a part of it, and it is just different. It's just different. It's hard to really quantify and capture all the elements. However, it is not the same. I mean, for example, I got out of the military. My first job, I worked at an egg farm. Talk about like going from this. And I'm not saying farmers and egg farm, that's important. It just wasn't for me, man. Like, pop smoke on them jokers quick. Personal and pre-military passion. So whatever you like to do before going in, if you can remember that far back, or or whatever. If you like to work on cars, if you like to create content, what's up? Take pictures, stay active, go hiking, go camping. I know for I was talking to the Sergeant Major, retired SF guy, Special Forces guy, and he told me that he told me that the military ruined camping for him. It and really, I didn't realize that was. He spent 30 years, man. Like, he's a meat eater. This dude was, yeah. And so kayaking. I mean, he said all those activities, outdoor activities, the Army ruined it for him. I found it funny because that resonated with me. But if you can relate, right? If the military service kind of ruined things for you, or you just kind of want to sleep in your own bed, do things like that. But anyway, any of your passions that you had before going in, or that you developed during your service, man, it's your time, man. This is part of regaining that purpose and that passion for life apart from the military. Education. So part of the goals is, if you want to, get your associate's degree, or bachelor's, or if you want to go to welder school, be a welder, machinist. My son's a machinist, so I mean CNC machinist, that is. So whatever that, if it's a more of a blue collar type thing, or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be a traditional college. Be a truck driving school. I don't know. So, but that's for you to decide, not for me. And here's part of the SMART goal that I was telling you about, or the goal. And so you use SMART if you've heard of that acronym. So it's got to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So, for example, I want to be a surgeon, a plastic surgeon that makes $250,000 a year. It's because I want to do it, and I want to do it within 8 years. So, an example of what that would be, what that would look like, and that's not what I want to do. I just wanted to make an example, but just plug in, just really do some deep diving, soul searching, and see what you can come up with. Step 4. Serve others to rebuild community. So whatever that community is, I feel, especially if you have a family. I'm not saying if you're single it's different, but well, it is different because what you consider family, right? And for those of you that that have a spouse or a loved one, a life partner, and kids, it just kind of, versus if you're single and then you're parents or siblings and stuff, which is still your family, but it's just takes a different meaning. Anyway, to me, that's where I start. That's where I would start. Is really start enjoying that time with your family, making memories, reconnecting with them if you were gone for a long time, or just hanging out, right? Like doing life together. And to me, that's the very first. But I'll go through some examples right here. Oh man, family, just talked about it. It could be, it could also be the brotherhood and sisterhood of people in the military, right? If you just want to hang out with them, like I got friends all over the United States, but and then when they're in the area in Washington State, that's where I'm at. Then they hit me up. They're like, "Hey man, I'm going to be in town for a few days. Let's go do lunch or so." So, and that's for sure family too. Your community. So, I'm a veteran. I'm a member of the VFW, one of those lifetime members. It was one time cost, whatever it was, $400. I don't remember. However, I did. I hit them up. I went to my local VFW, and they got okay. Side note, man. They got this freaking bar, man, and they're open every day of the year. And when they told me that, I said, like, even on Christmas? It was a dumb question, but yeah, every day of the year, man. Like, that's Christmas and New Year's and 4th of July and all that. Anyway, then I asked for a shot, right? Because I just kind of know people. Oh, wanted to know people. A lot of older veterans. I think some younger guys, but for the most part, it's an older crowd. At least at this particular VFW, and the hostess. I don't know what you call it hostess. She had like a bar, and she was like the person that worked there. Man, she poured me like as for tequila, of course, right? Um, and it it was probably like a 2.5 shots, man. Like I had to sip that sucker. I couldn't like take it down. Had a sip on it, and I wound up staying for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, because I couldn't drive. I thought I was just gonna get like a anyway. Yeah, yeah. So VFW, right, or Team Rubicon, or local government. You want to get into politics, go door knocking, or putting up the signs for your candidate, whatever you want to do that, or volunteer, right? I do volunteer at my church, um, as security. Yeah, exactly right. That, on the heels of taking that shot. Anyway, uh, yeah. So whatever, right? Volunteer with kids, or you want to volunteer um, at a local school, whatever. And seek support networks. Let me go over here. Seek support networks, um, and that right there is maybe it's other veteran groups, maybe, or I'm sorry, other veterans, battle buddies, or got to call somebody. Hey man, I'm having an issue with this, or whatever, and you connect that way. The VA. Now I know what you're gonna say. I had I got my issues with the VA, this VA, that, the whatever, right? Uh, everyone's experience is different. I personally have had worse experiences or bad experiences with the VA than good ones, and that's just me. Um, if you're one of those people that believe, those the old adage, deny, deny, deny until they die, or the VA giving veterans a second opportunity to die for their country, whatever, right? You've heard that, and I don't think by and large they mean the employees uh, mean it like to provide that level of service. I think a lot of it's the system itself that's jacked up. It's not necessarily the people at all. So you work for the VA. You know, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying that that's just my experience. I went in for my hip one time. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. And, you know, here's some medicine, whatever, which I didn't take. But yeah, VA, support networks. And long-term strategies. If your long-term strategy is to, you know, uh, find the bottom of a barrel, never, the bottom of a bottle. Yeah, man, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Because I've been there, right? And so whatever medications, and I've used this before, whatever band-aids you want to put on your pain or whatever you're dealing with, your struggles, that it doesn't make it any better. Usually it makes things worse, right? You don't remember what you said, so when you've been drinking a lot, the people around you don't really get the real you. You don't remember conversations. You don't remember conversations. You don't. No, I'm just playing. No. I know what I said. But nonetheless, that's just me. My experiences. So, yeah, go exercise, right? Go bang out some freaking push-ups and sit-ups. Um, so, long-term strategy: avoid isolation. You're not the only veteran to experience whatever it is, some type of PTSD or traumatic event. Um, I mean, I could just imagine, right? I only need to examine my own career to see a glimpse of what other veterans, and I haven't walked in your boots, but nonetheless, I could just imagine what some of y'all have or are going through. So, really, my intent is to help y'all, man. Like I'm not selling anything, dude. You know what I mean? It's just me. We're just having a conversation. You know, just some veterans just hanging out. Physical mental health. So again, like I said about my hip, I put my okay. No, that's enough. Or mental health, right? Anything you have physically or mental health, and if you have, if you're a retiree, you can use TRICARE. If you, depending on the disability you have and the percentage, the rating, you can go to the VA. If you're 100, then you're good to go. And I just recently found out that 1.3, I think it's 1.3 um, million. Actually, no, it's 1.5 million veterans are 100%, which is it's like 1.3 million male veterans are at 100%, and it's like 200 something thousand are the female veterans at 100%. Anyway, and so yeah, just seek that help, right? It's okay to seek help. It's not like someone's gonna be dogging you out. Like, man, why are you going to the doctor? Freaking punking out, man. What's up? Um, that just reminds me of Friday uh, when Debo hits that one dude with a bike, and his dad's like tries to go over there. The guy that got and Debo's like, "Why you want some more, man?" And then he takes off. But anyway, so yeah, physical, mental health, get it checked out. Uh, if you got you got any comments or some or ideas for the show, and just put it out there in the comment section. Yeah, I wish all of you well. Right, I know if you follow Combat Craig, which was not his real name, passed away. Which when I first got out, he was one of the people uh, that I looked up in terms of just hey, because once you're out, you're like, man, how to get 100%, right? Or if you didn't get it right out from the gate, which I did not, um, and so there it is. In a nutshell, I kind of went long. I'm trying to rock these 20 minutes or less, but nonetheless, y'all have a good one. Until the next one. Later.